Greetings, Nick with Sweetwater here, and today we're going to be taking a quick look at the Little Sister tube combo from our friends at Friedman Amplification. This single channel 20 watt 1x12 beauty right here. And don't let its single channel nature fool you. This is a pretty tonally versatile beast. Just like the classic British tube amps of the 60s and 70s, it was inspired by. Available in either head or 1x12 combo form, the Little Sister is, oh wait for it, the little sister of its two-channel 40-watt sibling, the aptly named Twin Sister. And the Twin Sister is essentially two Friedman Dirty Shirleys in a box, hence its two channels. Duh, number two. And, just in case you're unfamiliar with the sister's matriarch, the Dirty Shirley, it was based on a modified Marshall JTM 45. Brief family history over, let's quickly go over some of the Little Sister's specs, shall we? But first though, a quick guitar change via some digital magic. The 20 watt Little Sister boasts three 12AX7 preamp tubes and a pair of EL84 power tubes. It is also cathode biased as opposed to fixed bias. And like a lot of cathode-biased amps, it doesn't have a presence control as it doesn't contain a negative feedback circuit in its output stage. The amp's front panel controls, or should I say top panel controls, are the usual suspects. Namely, bass, middle, treble, master and gain. In addition, the top panel also houses two mini switches, a three-way gain structure switch labeled S, and a two-way bright/tight switch labeled B. More about those in a minute. As for the single 12-inch speaker that lives in the combo's sturdy Baltic birch cabinetry, it's a 65-watt Celestion Creamback G12M-65. In my humble opinion, this speaker is the perfect tonal partner in crime for this amp, especially due to its incredible responses in the lower and middle regions of tone. As for the amp's rear panel, which is really a bottom panel, as you can see, it has a quintet of speaker outputs that cover the usual extension cabinet impedance options, plus the send and return jacks for Friedman's renowned transparent series effects loop. Simple, perfect. Now, if you're at all familiar with its older, bigger siblings, the Little Sister is an extremely tactile, touch-sensitive amp that responds really well to both picking dynamics and also volume control changes on your guitar. Hear what I mean? Also, in keeping with Friedman's trademark tonal DNA, the harmonic content and detail is pretty darn pleasing on both chord work and also single note lines. The lows are also satisfyingly fat while not being overly boomy. And while on the subject of bass frequencies, when the Little Sister's bright switch, the B switch, is kicked in, it tightens up the amp's low end a little in addition to giving your sound a little bit more cut. No wonder it's referred to as the bright/tight switch in the handy-dandy manual. And speaking of the manual, this thing right here, it suggests you start with the bass and middle controls at 6 and the treble at 5. And as these settings sound jolly good indeed, I'm going to leave these controls there for most of this demo. Gosh darn it. And lastly, as with Dave Friedman's usual voicing/design MO, this amp doesn't have to be cranked up to window-shattering volume in order to sound satisfyingly girthy. No sir, The Little Sister can and will deliver the desired tonal goods at Soundman-friendly volumes at non-stadium gigs that mere mortals like me play. Perfect. For example, here it is with a medium gain setting and the master at around 12 o'clock. That felt nice. And by the way, lower master volume settings produce a satisfying width too. This all said, as you may well expect, the amp sound does get even wider and browner when you crank the master even more. Here it is with the exact same settings I just played, but this time with the master set at 3 o'clock. Yep, that was good. Let's make it even bigger by cranking it all the way open, all the way to 10, or should I say, all the way to a Nigel Tufnell approved 11. Yep, regardless of my dodgy playing, that felt amazing. And just so you know, when I turn the master from 12 o'clock to 5 o'clock, it doesn't get 5 hours louder. The sound just gets wider and browner in a sonically majestic and truly wonderful way. Anyway, volume abuse over, let's go back to the master at 12 o'clock, shall we? While its roots are obviously firmly planted in the British rock sounds of amps such as the aforementioned JTM 45, thanks to its master and gain controls plus its S and B switches, the Little Sister can deliver an impressive array of tones from sparkling clean like this, to gritty blues like this, to classic rock crunch, to even dirtier and ruder. To get my sound clean, I can obviously back off my guitar's volume, or if I want, crank the master volume while pulling down the gain control. Let's start with the latter, shall we? Now let's see what difference the bright/tight switch makes by playing the same thing over again. Well, as best as I can anyway. Now let's do the exact same thing on a Les Paul too. And the same exact thing on the Les Paul, which is slightly darker, with the bright switch engaged, the tight bright switch engaged. As you've hopefully just heard, this switch definitely makes my sound brighter, duh, and it also takes away some lows, which makes it tighter as well. Both subtle effects, but they can and will help your tones sit really nicely in a mix, be it in the studio or live. Now let's get a clean sound via my guitar's volume control on a dirtier gain setting, shall we? Here's the sound with my guitar volume full up on the lead pickup. Now let's go to the rhythm pickup, the neck pickup, and roll the volume back and see what happens, shall we? Let's also quickly check out what the three-way gain structure switch does, shall we? In the middle position, the S switch offers the least gain, so we'll call that position 1. Here it is in said position with the gain control at 12 o'clock. And here it is again, but this time with the gain set at 3 o'clock. I like it. And now, the same thing, but this time with the gain full up and with the bright switch engaged for a little bit more cut and a little bit more tightness in that all-important low end. Now let's go to the next S switch setting, which is down, and we'll call it 2 because it has a little bit more gain than 1. And we'll start again at 12 o'clock. And now the same exact riff, allegedly, with the gain control set at 3 o'clock. Yep, I definitely heard a 3-hour difference in gain there. Now let's go all the way to 5 o'clock on the gain control with the bright switch clicked in for more cut and tightness. Yep, I like it. Now, last but certainly not least, the up position of the S control, which we'll call number 3 because that has the most gain. Once again, we'll switch the bright switch off for this and go back to 12 o'clock and see what happens. And now setting 3 on the S switch with gain at 3 o'clock. Oh yeah, that's got some teeth. That's pretty high gain for a 70s amp. Now let's go all the way up with the bright switch engaged. The Little Sister is also a great pedal platform amp, and it plays really nicely with stomp boxes of all shapes and sizes, including boosts and overdrives. Plus, the amp series effects loop is perfect for time-based effects and also modulation devices too, should you prefer them in the amp's effects loop as opposed to in front of the amp. And talking of effects, I'm normally very tempted to add a smidgen of reverb and maybe a little bit of delay too to a no-frills amp like this, plus maybe a touch of compression and chorus to mask my dodgy clean playing. But as the Little Sister sounds and feels so good as is, I didn't do that today, honestly, so what you heard was me playing naked, so I apologize for the mistakes. And whilst on the subject of effects pedals, even though the Little Sister is definitely a classic rock amp as opposed to a metal amp, thanks to Mr. Friedman's excellent design, it already has a goodly amount of gain, and as you've already heard, it's pretty darn tight too. So, if I just so happen to hit the front end of the Little Sister with a tube screamer, I can easily step into 80s rock overdrive territory. Let's check it out. Now, to be perfectly honest with you, as opposed to lying, I could literally sit here for hours messing with the Little Sister with a bunch of different guitars, settings and pedals because it's such a fun and satisfying amp to mess with. It makes you want to play. What a concept. Before I sign off though, there's one other thing I quickly want to show you. The Little Sister's custom-made transformers. So, let's quickly pull out the chassis, shall we? Minor surgery done, here we have it, the chassis. And as you can see, these are pretty mean machines here, these two transformers. And the importance of transformers in a tube amp is paramount to people like me, especially the output transformer, which is this hefty chunk of iron right here. This is the PT20, the power transformer. This is the OT20, the output transformer. And as you can see, Friedman have cut no corners on these pivotal parts of the Little Sisters. Yep, these custom-made beauties right here clearly mean business. And there you have it, my friend, the Friedman Little Sister. A single channel 20-watt 1x12 tube combo assembled in sunny California. And, just in case I forgot to mention it earlier, a head version is also available. Also 20 watts, same controls, same tube complement, same everything, just in head form. So if you'd rather go that route, it's right here for you at Sweetwater. For more information on this versatile tone machine, be it in head or combo form, please go to sweetwater.com, or better still, call your sales engineer and he or she will be only too happy to help you further. Anyway, I'm going to play out by grabbing a fine Union Jack emblazoned Kramer Beretta, this one right here. Then I'm going to crank the Little Sister's gain, step on my trusty tube screamer and also my MXR EVH Phase 90 pedal, and take a time machine back to the glorious 80s. I'm on my journey now. See ya. Thank you very much indeed for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, nicely please, because I'm very sensitive, and also subscribe. For more videos like this, please click here. Also, visit sweetwater.com for all your music instrument and pro audio needs. Have a great day. Stay safe. Once again, thank you very much indeed for watching.